Oh my God.
What?
I'm sorry.
No, what? Tell me.
I pre-ordered this book months ago. It got delivered today. It's the fourth and final installment of one of my favorite cowboys.
Oh, look at you.
It's waiting for me at home. I'm going to read it all night. I'm going to finish it tonight.
We'll finish this quick so you can get home. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no,
I'm so sorry to keep you.
I shattered a bowl while I was making cookies a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And just put a bunch of glass down the garbage.
What the fuck?
And turned it on.
Why?
And it broke the garbage disposal. So, yeah, I have to put a maintenance order in for that. Yeah, but what if I put the maintenance order in and Orlando comes over?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Orlando. Throwback to Orlando.
Exactly.
Never
mind.
Don't.
You just sounded like somebody. Yeah. So I thought I had tetanus because I cut myself on it. I reached my hand in there and then pulled it out, the piece of glass, and it was covered in rust.
Okay.
And I was bleeding. And then 4 days later, I had a really stiff neck. And I was like, oh my God, I have tetanus. And so I was furiously Googling symptoms, incubation periods, all that stuff. But no, I don't think I have tetanus. I do need to re-up my shot, though.
That sucks.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
For now.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine now.
How do you know?
I just don't think I have it.
Okay.
You know?
Me neither, then.
Yeah.
Good vibes
sometimes,
only.
when you know, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just so in tune with my body.
You are. Body, mind, soul connection, and you. Namaste.
Sure.
You know?
Uh-huh. Anyways, welcome to another episode of Secondhand Smut. I'm Angela.
And I'm Paul.
This is Secondhand Smut.
Welcome back. Mm-hmm. How's it going? How's the energy? How's the mood?
You tell me. After you just reading my...
Oh, yeah. Angela just let me read some smut draft. And it was steamy and it was wild.
What feelings did it bring up in you? Was it weird for you to read that because I wrote it?
The weirdest part was that you sat directly next to me and stared at me and stared at my mouth as I was reacting.
Well, you just kept going.
Yeah. That was the weird part for me. The reading it was fine.
Oh, good.
It was great. It was a good time.
Cool. I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
Yeah. And I think you're going to have a fun cowboy romance.
Oh, my God, yes.
You know?
Yes. God, speaking of that, I'm thinking about quitting my job.
Oh.
Selling everything that I bought for my apartment and moving to a ranch and living on a ranch.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll let you know if I end up doing that.
Yeah, I hope you do.
Yeah.
Let me know.
I
not do the ranch.
Probably won't. But
yeah.
It's just a thought.
You probably won't, but you could.
I could. I am thinking about making a crazy life change before I'm 35, which is coming up in 2 years.
Yeah. No, longer. You're not even 33 yet.
I'm about to be 33, Paul.
In what, September?
Yes.
About to? In September?
Well, I round up.
Listen, aging is hard. But it's okay. And I don't think putting arbitrary limits and time frames on yourself helps.
Well, it hasn't worked out for me.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Time.
Just take little steps to make your life better instead of trying to do something manic and crazy at a set 2 years away, period. Or whatever. Actually, I support you. I support whatever you want to do. I support women. And I support you.
Thank you.
We could probably still do the podcast. Ranches have internet.
Well, so honestly, I don't have much for you since we.
I know we just recorded. We're having to do a couple back-to-back scheduling things. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't have much going on either. I guess still unemployed.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just
laughing at my situation.
No, I'm not laughing at your situation. I'm laughing at you is what I meant to say.
Laughing as my savings dwindle, my prospects dry up, and my will to live evaporates. Yeah.
No,
I'm fine. I'm doing great.
You've got a hot boyfriend.
I've got a hot boyfriend. I'm walking all the time. Dude,
I'm walking all the time.
I'm constantly on a treadmill walking. It's all I do all day. I've added a 15-pound weight vest now. So I'm walking with 15
Where did you get a
pounds.
weight vest?
I got it from Taylor.
What does it look like?
It looks like a vest and it weighs 15 pounds.
I need to see
I'll show it. It's like right there in the closet.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I want one.
I don't know what I'm training for.
But you're training.
But I'm training.
Yeah. Hey, who knows? Maybe in a year's time you'll fucking do something weird and like.
I feel like subconsciously, I think subconsciously I'm worried about the civil war that we're headed towards, and I'm like, I gotta be able to run. I gotta be able to run or walk at least 5 miles a day with 15 pounds strapped to me. Bare min. I would up that to like 45 pounds to make 45 pounds. I'm getting there. You know, I still have a little bit of hope for the country, I guess. If I have 45 pounds strapped on me and I'm on that treadmill, no, things are bad.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Dude, yeah. Speaking of the state of the country, your prediction for the book that we're reading this week, was so fucking good.
Oh, thank you.
I just want that to be a book series. God, that was such a good one.
Maybe we should team up and write a book series together, and I'll write the story stuff, and then you'll write the smut parts.
Dude, I want that so badly because I can write the smut, but I'm like really struggling with everything else.
Yeah, and I can weave a tale.
Exactly.
I like to go to a place.
We could actually be a pretty good.
That would actually, yeah.
We could be a pretty good thing.
Maybe we do that.
Maybe we do that.
It would be funny if we went, once we're super famous for our podcast.
Yeah.
And then we go back and we write all of the books that I've guessed.
You've had some really fucking good ones.
And that'll just be like our publishing company. That's what we publish. Like Goosebumps.
Yes.
But smut.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. All right.
Amazing. Would you go by a pen name? Or would you... Because I was thinking about that, and I was like, you know what? No, I want people to know.
I just really like P. Hatfield because it looks like Fatfield.
Yeah.
I do like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just do PMH.
Love that.
Yeah.
I think I would go by my middle name. Or... even
Caitlin with a K.
The middle name. Caitlin Hunter. I wish my first name was Hunter. I'm not gonna lie.
Hunter.
Yeah. There's a lot of AKs out there in the smut world.
Like guns.
No. Sorry, the energy's a little low today.
The energy is a little low, and that's okay.
It was just like, it's Tuesday. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to be excited about? You know what I'm saying?
I know, it's Tuesday. I'm in a calorie deficit. Yeah.
That's not a recipe for
the energy is
fun
low.
time. Yeah. I will say this is a fun book.
See, we did a little inverse. I was full energy last time, having a great time. Worst book.
Yeah, we had fun energy last time. Horrifically bad book, but this time it's a little reversed.
Well, hopefully this will rev me up.
Yeah, it does touch on some interesting things that we have not talked about. Oh, did you want to?
Whoa!
Yeah, I know. Isn't he hot?
The cover of this book. Listener, listen. This is it.
Listener, listen.
Listener, listen. This dude is hot.
Is he... Describe this man.
Hot. Brunette, square jaw. Seriously, 90 degrees. Measure it. Beard, mustache, white shirt, overalls.
He's a wildland firefighter.
Yeah, he's got a chainsaw. He's got tattoos on his chest and both of his arms. Mm-hmm. And one's a butterfly and one's a rose. And I can't see what's on his chest, but I'm sure those are going to come into play later.
Only the chest does. They don't talk about the arm. So I do know what the chest tattoo is.
It looks rugged.
He's rugged.
He looks rugged. This book looks rugged.
Uh-huh.
And it feels like suede.
Doesn't it have a fun texture?
Yeah, I feel like it smells like mahogany, but it doesn't. But I feel like it does.
Because it's this man.
Yeah, he smells
like smoke and cedar wood. Because he's a wildland firefighter.
Hot.
Well, let's get into it. I'll tell you a little bit about this book, just as some fun tidbits. This book is volume 1 of 3-part series that I bought months and months ago, and they've just been sitting on my shelf because I knew once I got into these books, I would fucking devour them.
Well, great.
And so what's fun about this book series, this one's called Fight, the other ones are called Protect and Honor. Each book is written by a different author, which is kind of fun. Yeah, so Sloan St. James did this one. Paisley Hope, my other favorite smut writer, writes the second book, and Danielle Baker, another great writer, writes the third book.
But not one of your favorites.
Not one of my favorites, simply because I have not read a lot of hers.
Okay, it's an exposure issue.
But I have read, Paisley Hope only has 2 books out, right? Well, no, that's not true. She's got a bunch more. I've only read it for 2 cowboy romances, which are 2 of my favorite of all time. And I've read 5 Sloan St. James books.
And you liked them all.
Sloan St. James is the author of my all-time favorite hockey romance, Stand and Defend.
Okay. It all comes together. It all comes back to Sloan. To Sloan, not Salone.
Salone, yeah.
All right.
Would you like to read the back of this book, Paul?
Yes, of course. Yes, sir. Oh, struggling today. Fighting wildfires is the only thing I've ever wanted to do, and I'm damn good at it. Being the captain of an interagency hotshot crew of wildland firefighters is high risk, high reward. The risk blindsided me 5 years ago when I lost one of my crew and was changed forever. Now the only rewards I allow are to work harder, smarter, and enjoy easy, sexy nights with strangers. Love that. That's hot. Until I meet Prescott Timmons. Her smart mouth and adventurous spirit have me forgetting all of my rules until her past shows up and lies start to feel too familiar. I swear to never spare her a second glance, but when she finds herself in a life or death situation with Mother Nature, my instincts kick in and I take action. Stranded and sharing a bed again, we're forced to face our truth. Do we let this fire burn out or fight? Name drop. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that as a movie.
Oh, yes.
Very movie-y.
This book's very movie. It's a lot of action in this book, and the most intense forced proximity I've ever read, which was amazing. I loved it.
Huh.
Yeah, you'll see.
Forced as in like
forced proximity just means they are forced.
Fire.
Yeah,
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's the most intense you've ever said because it's like the world's literally burning around us.
You will find out.
We have to huddle together not to die of fire.
I'll tell you no.
Okay.
That's not it. But good guess.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. So I rated this book 4.5 stars out of 5, and Spice is 4 out of 5, I would say.
All right. Strong numbers.
Yeah.
We're coming in with strong numbers to start.
Yeah. So we meet Callahan Woods, is his name.
Hilarious.
Goes by Cal.
That sounds like a Old Spice scent.
For sure. And I would wear it. Just got promoted to captain because his captain was killed in front of him. He was like his mentor, his father figure. He was his best friend's actual dad. He was like the dad to everyone on the crew.
Oh, no.
He got crushed by a tree, and Cal
devastating.
Yeah, Cal watched him die, and they were like talking to each other.
And then his soul entered his body, and he became the chief, and that's how Chief is passed. That's beautiful.
So he is with his, and that's Xander's dad. So he's with his best friend Xander, who he's like, Xander's never going to be the same after this. I'm never going to be the same after this. And they're at his wake, and he's there with his fiancée, Molly, of 7 years. And there's also this man there who grew up with Molly. His name is Dave. And
Molly and Dave. Is Molly cheating with Dave?
And Cal has always known that Dave has had a thing for Molly.
Okay.
But whatever. So she goes off, and Cal goes off to talk to Xander and his friend King, whose name is Rowan Kingsley, but he goes by King.
Good to know.
Rowan Kingsley is the subject of book 2, and Xander's the subject of book 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's talking to Xander and King, and he starts to have a panic attack. He's thinking about Garrett. Later gets diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah, I fucking
bet.
From that. So he's like, I gotta get out of here. So he goes into a bedroom to have a panic attack, and Molly is getting fucked by Dave.
Dude.
At a funeral.
Dude. I fucking, like, from the second you said Molly, I was like, I don't like this. Nope. I don't like her. She's blonde, isn't she?
You can picture her blonde.
I am.
Yeah. I love that you always say that. She's blonde.
She's blonde, isn't she?
I love that you and I both hate blondes.
Well, yeah. We're brunettes and there's a war.
Yeah, for sure.
We know our sides.
There's a war. So that cut Cut to 5 years later.
Okay.
So he is a playboy now.
Yeah.
He has not had a relationship since Molly. He's fucked up. He's since been diagnosed with CPTSD. And
is he on something?
Nope. And he's not going to therapy. So he has panic attacks, and when there's loud noises like a tree falling or thunder clapping, he freezes up and it can trigger his panic attacks.
Okay. But that's going to come into play later.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, in those 5 years, Molly and Dave have married and have 2 kids, and Molly just gave birth to a second.
Well, I don't really care. I didn't need a life update on Molly.
Well,
I hope she is happy.
Whatever. I hope she isn't. That cheating.
Well, yeah. That's none of my business. She's released from my life.
So then we meet Prescott, a.k.a. Scotty. She is new to Sky Ridge. We're in Washington. We're in the Pacific Northwest, by the way. She's new to Sky Ridge. She's just moved here from across the country. She's living in her car, we find out. She has absolutely no money, and we don't know much else about her. And she is interviewing to be an EMT at the local fire department.
Okay, cool.
And she gets hired, and she puts a deposit down on a shit rat apartment, like water stains on the walls, rats running around.
Whatever.
But she's got a place to lay her head.
Yeah.
And it's hers.
Yeah. And it's not a car.
And the only thing she has is an air mattress in this little studio apartment. She doesn't have anything else.
This is going to be me in 3 months.
You can just move in with me. We'll just live in a one bedroom.
No, I'm too proud. Lots of
options. Anyway, so she keeps alluding to the fact that she is leaving something behind. She's gotten away, and she doesn't want them to come after her, and she doesn't want them to find her.
Okay.
So, at the local dive bar, Cal's hanging out with Xander and King and some other firefighters. They just got off an assignment, so they're kind of having a celebratory drink. And in walks Scotty. And this is a small town. Right. Everyone turns around.
Horrifying.
And they're like, who is this woman? And she's gorgeous, and she's new in town.
Wait, hold on. Did you say what she looked like?
She's got reddish blondish hair, nice body because she keeps herself fit. She runs. She's got a nice
keeps
ass.
It tight.
Yep, great tits.
Great tits.
Just very pretty, luscious lips, full lips.
We're talking tattoos, piercings, like edgy. No, okay.
No.
Not edgy.
No, and she's got blue eyes.
Okay.
So she comes in and sits down, and guess who's at the bar? Dave. Dave?
What is Dave doing here?
Dave's going to be in this book a lot.
I don't understand why Dave and Molly are even involved anymore.
Yeah.
They still live in this town?
Oh, yeah.
Get the fuck out of this town.
Oh, yeah. And Cal has to see him all the time. Dave is a firefighter for the fire department.
For the rival fire gang?
He tried to be a wildland firefighter with Cal.
But he couldn't give up.
And he couldn't fucking hack it.
Of course not.
So he hates
used to
Cal.
creature comforts.
He hates Cal because he thinks Cal's keeping him from being a wildland fighter. I can't say fighter.
I could have heard. I think that Cal should absolutely get him on the team. Because a lot of trees fall a lot of times.
Right, accidents happen.
Shit happens. Oh, no.
So Dave saunters over to Scotty and is hitting on her.
I thought he was married.
Oh, and his wife just gave birth to their second baby, Molly. So
Molly deserves this.
I can't remember if it was King or Xander, but one of them is like, hey, Dave, how's the wife? How's the newborn?
You piece of shit.
And so he glares over, chugs his beer, and then leaves Scotty's side. And then one of his other friends is like, dibs, I'm gonna go talk to her. And Cal's like, all right, you don't have any game I'd like to see.
Objects. You can't call dibs.
For sure. Yeah, but I mean, they are men, are disgusting pigs.
Yeah, I know. I call dibs on men. That doesn't count.
I call dibs too.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Nope, that doesn't count.
Men are objects.
It doesn't count if we're doing it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it doesn't count if they're men because they are objects. Yeah. You just water them, feed them, fuck them, like you said.
Yeah, dude.
So his friend Caleb goes over there, shoots his shot, and she's like, I'm sorry, no. And Cal's just laughing. And he's like, all right, I'm going to go make my fucking move now.
Oh, because you're a playboy.
Yeah, and he gets it. Well, look how fucking hot he is. I mean, how could you say no?
Yeah.
So he goes over and just sits next to her. They get to talk, and their banter is really cute. He's like the lighthearted guy, so he's funny, and they're just joking with each other.
It's all a trap.
Riffing. Run. So at the end of that, finally, he's like, can I get your number? And she says yes. And he notices that she has a flip phone. He's like, what the fuck, a flip phone? And when he goes to put his contact in.
She's a time traveler.
That would be wild.
Oh my God.
He notices she only has 2 contacts in her phone, boss and
she's
landlord.
A drug dealer.
He's like, these are some red flags, but fuck it. I don't give a shit. She's beautiful. So she's like, thanks for the drink, and leaves. And they have a few text exchanges. And over the next couple days.
T9 texting
Yeah,
him?
she is T9
Jesus
texting,
Christ,
dude. Yeah. So keeps asking her out. And she's not saying this to him, but she's thinking, she's like, I really shouldn't be with someone right now. Like, I just got away. I'm trying to create my own life.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. I should say no, but he's so hot and funny. So she's like, and then like, she keeps running into him while she's on her runs.
Small town.
Uh-huh. And he's just like a huge, massive flirt. He's like, if you wanted to run with me, all you had to do is ask me. I'll go on a run with you. You know, shit like that. She's like, maybe I will. And then we hear about Jonathan. She's like, I just don't know how to feel about Jonathan, and I really don't want the fold coming after me.
Did she escape
And so we hear from her perspective that is back in Arkansas. So that is where she's come from. So she agreed to go have dinner with him, but that day he gets called out to a fire in Oregon. And so his team has to take off to Oregon. And there, I learned so much about firefighters or wildfires in this book. There's a fucking glossary of terms in this book. And look at this, a flow chart of how they work.
So this is actually just wildfire propaganda.
Yeah.
That they were like, I bet if we made them hot, sexy firefighters.
Yeah.
Well, whatever works.
Hey, all romance novels are a form of some sort of propaganda.
Yeah, you've learned about hockey. You've learned about diving. Like,
yeah.
There are things to be learned in these books.
Totally. So apparently, ambulances also go out there and just kind of sit and wait. And if those guys get hurt, the ambulances are there. So he gets called out to Oregon. And when he gets there, he sees Sky Ridge ambulances. He's like, oh my God, they must have came up from Sky Ridge. What a small world.
Yeah.
And so the next day he's fighting the fire
with his bare hands.
Yeah, with his chainsaw and his axe and shit. And then they get a report that there's going to be a huge thunderstorm rolling in that night. So they head back to their camp, and he rolls over to the ambulance just to say, hey, Scotty.
Lo and behold,
opens the door.
Who is it?
And he's like,
Scotty Dome.
Oh my God. Yeah. Scotty Doo. So they're like, oh my God, what a small world, you know? And so that night the rain gets really bad and shit starts flooding. And so there's like a summer camp that is like, we'll let the firefighters stay here.
Yeah.
So everyone loads up and goes to this cabin, this massive cabin. And he's like, turns out we can get dinner after all. Do you want to hang out tonight? And she's like, sure, I'll hang out.
Yeah.
So a few of the guys are like, well, we're going to start a poker game. Scotty, why don't you join us?
Yeah.
And so she joins them. So
strip poker.
She's playing poker with them. They're playing poker for snacks.
Okay.
She was like, God, I hope we're not playing for money because I'm out. So, but anyway, they're playing for snacks. And she's having a good time, and he's having a great time, and she's won, like, a bunch of stuff, and it's super cute. And then...
I mean, what kind of snacks are we talking about?
Like, bags of Cheetos, bags of Cheez-Its.
Okay. I would take a roll of mini donuts.
Yeah.
Love a roll of mini donuts.
Shit like that. Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Me too.
Okay. Sorry.
But I'm not going to eat.
Me neither ever again.
Same. Okay. So then we get another little snippet that I kind of just wanted to read to you from Scotty's perspective. She's like, should I be doing this? Like, I can't believe, like, should I be doing this? She's like, one impulsive night at a campfire could never outweigh the shame of my years spent in the fold. So what am I afraid of? Because he asks her.
What is the fold?
Uh-huh. And she goes, what is sex like when it happens organically, by choice? Doubt creeps into my mind. Perhaps I should have done this with a stranger. What if it's nothing like what I know? No, that can't be true. It's the same concept. I can follow his lead. So we're just getting very ominous things, you know?
I mean, I've got theories.
Yes. Do you want to give any of them out, or do you want to hold your cards?
Yeah, I'll give a couple.
Okay.
1, she's escaped some kind of sex trafficking of some kind.
Okay.
2, she's escaped the Mormon church. Basically the same as number 1.
Yeah. Good call, Paul.
3, she was part of some kind of demonic, satanic coven, and she's been never exposed to the real world, and she escaped and she doesn't even know how to be a person.
Yeah. Interesting.
One of those three, probably.
One of those three. So after that night, even one of the guys at the table, like, their banter is so good. One of the guys is like, Jesus, are you guys going to fuck or play poker? Like, so they're, just joking around. We're just joking around, having a good time.
I'll fuck and play poker. What do you think about that?
There you go.
Yeah.
So that night, Cal is like, hey, let's go. You want to meet up and, like, share these winnings together? And she's like, yeah, let's meet up in the rig. Her ambulance.
Yeah, I know what a rig is. I've seen Grey's Anatomy.
Nice. So they go out to the rig and they're just eating their snacks and, like, being super fucking cute and laughing. And she's like, I can't believe how easy it is to talk to this guy. And then things grow hot and heavy. Yeah. And now she's straddling him while he's sitting on the bench in the ambulance, and they start making out. And then he starts stripping her of her clothes.
I'm waiting for her to do something weird.
He fingers her.
Okay.
And she comes, and she's like, oh my God. Like, that's a man has never made me come before. Like, that's crazy.
Where does she come from? Where the men don't make the women come.
So let me read. We've got our first sex scene here.
Okay.
And it's hot. Cal knows what the fuck he's doing, okay? He's got a perfect mouth on him.
Yeah. Big, thick hands.
Talking her through it. Talk her through it, okay? He's like, that's it, baby. That's so good. Damn, you're so sexy when you come, blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, lay back, and he puts her on the, like, gurney. He starts having sex with her, full penetrative sex.
Oh, jeez.
And then he's just, like, saying shit to her. He's like, that's my girl, talking her through it, like, giving her all this praise. This is definitely a big praise.
Oh.
Definitely, if y'all are into praise kink,
back to the praise.
Read this book.
Back to the praise.
And then, so this is coming from her perspective. She's like, I expected the physical sex being better, sure. However, nothing could have prepared me for the emotional repercussions, the connection, the barrage of two intense feelings that hit all at once. I don't know what to do with it. Passion is a powerful drug. The attraction between us is undeniable, and this is a monumental step for me. My eyes brim with tears, so I pull him down over my chest. I lock my arms around his neck so he can't see the emotion rolling down my cheeks. It's happiness and joy and freedom. He wouldn't understand.
Damaged goods, bro. Baggage.
Then he goes, can I call you a good girl when you're being a good girl?
Something weird's gonna happen.
I suck in a breath and nod. He spits into his free hand, then slaps it against my clit, sending a burst of need through me.
Whoa!
Good girl, he praises.
Oh my God.
Now take all of it. His palm covers mine and he positions it just above my pelvis, then he presses deep. I feel the faint outline of his cock. Feel how full you are? He says.
Feel how full you are, full of him? Oh my goodness.
And meanwhile, Paul, she's like having a hard time catching her breath. She's this altitude is not, I'm not used to this.
The altitude. The altitude will get you.
It will. If you're from Arkansas.
You gotta have a lot of water, don't forget.
You're up in the Oregon mountains and shit. And so she's like, A, that, and then B, she's like, it's all too much for her. So she's having a hard time catching her breath.
Never had good sex or something.
Yeah. Oh, and then he turns her around, so he's sitting up on the gurney, puts her like reverse cowgirl style on him, and is like going like this, and they can see their reflection in the mirror or the windows of the ambulance, and he's like, eyes forward. I fix my gaze on the windows in front of us. He's so handsome. Callahan shakes his head. Not on me, on you. Watch yourself come. And then yep. And then and she goes, I hardly recognize the woman staring back at me. She's uninhibited and raw and fearless. I love this. I love sex. How could this ever be considered a sin? It's beautiful.
Religious, cult, totally.
Mm-hmm. And then he's like, do you like restraints?
You're going to strap me to this gurney?
And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, you want to find out? And so he like straps her down with the fucking things. He's like giving it to her every fucking which way.
Look at you.
And he's like, do you like it? And she's like, yes. And then he's like,
yes.
He notices that she's really having a hard time fucking catching her breath.
Yeah.
So he reaches over to the oxygen mask and puts
what is this?
Oxygen mask on her. He fucked her so hard. He's like,
he grabs the fucking defibrillator. Clear.
Yeah. So he puts the oxygen mask on her for a second. Listen to this quote. He goes, now why don't you show me what a good girl you are and make that pretty cunt of yours milk my cock? And then after they have sex, she goes, is it always like that? And he goes, no, it's not always like that. So if
I had sex with someone and they said, is it always like that? I go, excuse me? Was this the first time?
So impassioned,
what
Paul.
happened?
They were so impassioned, you know?
I'd just be like, don't ask me that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you'd be like, why?
Yeah.
Are you?
I would just are you a virgin?
Right.
Did I just deflower you?
Yeah, but
Did you trick me into deflowering you?
You would know with a woman. You would know. Anyway, so they have this crazy ass hot ass sex, and Cal is like, Jesus, this woman is funny. Like, I can talk to her.
Yeah.
She's different, you know?
She fucks Chris.
So then the next night, they fuck again. And every night
Why don't we fight this fire?
Well, at night. He goes and fights the fire.
Why don't we stop fucking and fight this fire?
But at night, he sneaks in. And that sex scene is super fucking hot, too. I won't read you any of it because we, did that. But it's super hot. Also, Paul, did I show you that this author, only Sloan St. James does this. She puts a little chili pepper spice next to the spicy chapters in the table of contents. Isn't that fun?
That's nice.
And then she says one-handed reader shortcut, so you can hold it with your hand.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I get it.
Yeah.
She's like, if you don't actually want to read this and you just want to nut.
Yeah.
Flip to this page.
She's a fucking
Choose your own adventure.
This is why I love her.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's like, I have now hooked up with her like 4 nights in a row, and I don't do repeat hookups. So he's like, I got to remind myself.
You do.
He's like, she's a hookup. She's a hookup. He's like trying to like delude himself into feeling no feelings. So on like the last night, he's like, one of the nights, he's like, I just want to let you know I want to keep this casual with you, but when we get back home, I'd like to keep hooking up with you if you're down to keep this casual. And she's like, can I think about it? Like, I'll let you know.
What does casual mean?
Right.
Are we married now?
Yeah. So now it's time to go home, and she is in the ambulance with her partner, Matt, and he's like, hey,
is Matt gay?
No, he's a nice guy, though.
I wish he would be.
Yeah. I don't think there's any gay guy.
Matt's gay in my head, then.
Oh, wait. There is I'm an idiot. Yes, there is a gay person in this book, but there's no gay smut.
You've got gay blindness.
Yeah.
You don't want to see us. It's because you can't see yourself.
Shut the fuck up. All right. So he's just like, hey, is something going on with you and Callahan? Just be careful. I know you're new in town. He's a great guy. I love Cal. Like, he's like, we're good friends, but he's got a bit of a reputation, and I just wouldn't like to see you get hurt. So just
too many people.
A little bit of a warning to her. And she was like, okay, that's not the Cal I've experienced, but whatever.
I'm like, isn't it though?
Yeah.
He's turned you out 4 times, just like up and left, right. Obviously he's done this a lot and he's really good at it. So isn't that how you've experienced him? So
then in Cal's rig, one of the dudes is like, surprised to see you hooking up with Prescott. I didn't think she was your type. And Cal goes, she's fucking hot.
Yeah.
She's my type.
Yeah, bro, she's like fucking hot.
Yeah, but she's married. And she fucked
Dave. What?
Cal's like,
shut this shit down.
Cal was like, no, I don't know what the fuck you're on about, but she's not married and she didn't fuck Dave.
I bet she's married and I bet she fucked Dave.
And so he's like, shut that shit down with the friend. But in his head, obviously, he's got a real thing about cheating because of Molly and Dave. He's like, if I'm the other man and she just ruined this man because of me and she made me an accomplice to cheating, I'm going to be really fucking pissed.
Yeah, I went through a phase like that one time.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, right after you get cheated on.
Right? Oops. So he's spiraling a little bit.
Yeah.
He's like thinking back to every interaction they had, whatever. And so a few days goes by. She's been reaching out to him. I think she sent him 3 text messages and he has not replied to any of them.
Wow.
Yeah, not the most emotionally mature way to handle this. So finally he reaches out and he's like, hey, how are you? Sorry, it's been busy. We need to talk. Can I... come to you or whatever. And she's like, no, I can't tonight. But he's like, okay, well, why don't I come over to your place tomorrow morning before work?
Yeah, when your husband's not there.
And she's like, okay, you can come over tomorrow morning and we can talk. And she's like, what does this mean? What's going on? And meanwhile, she's been panicking. She's like, I like this guy so much. And then she's like, man, the rumors about him must have been true if he's just ghosted me now. So miscommunication. Then she's at work that day and fucking Dave rolls up. And he's like, sits down and she's like eating and he's like, hey, heard something about Cal. Just want to give you a heads up about him. He's a fucking player. She's like, 2 people have now told me this? Oh, Dave's a shit stirrer.
Are you? Why don't you go mind your wife and your baby?
Oh, Dave can't. He's a fucking piece of shit, Paul.
I just need to know right now, did they have sex?
No, of course not.
Okay, thank you. We can keep going.
Of course she didn't have sex with fucking Dave. So she gets off her shift, her overnight shift at 7 a.m. And now it's time for her to go to meet Cal. So she's driving home in her shit box car and she gets a flat tire.
Oh my God, of course.
She doesn't have a spare. Who rolls up to save the day?
Is it Dave?
It's Dave.
Is he stalking her?
I would say so,
It feels like it.
So Dave's like, been a bit of a problem there, are you? And he's like, I'll get your car towed. This dude owes me a favor, and I'll give you a ride home. You know, we can figure this out. And she's like, thank you so much, dude. Like,
I guess so.
And so, because at this point, she doesn't know Dave's a piece of shit.
Yeah, but yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. He takes her home, and he gets out of the truck and starts like walking with her to her apartment.
No.
And he's like, oh, I've always wanted to see the inside of this place. Can I come up to your apartment?
No.
And she felt like she couldn't say no, so she said yes, which happens all the time.
That happens all the time. Is he hot?
He's a he's probably hot, but he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So she gets up there and he's like, not being judgmental. She's like, Dave's a nice guy. He's not judging my piece of shit, whatever. She starts cooking and she's like, well, do you want some eggs? It's the least I can do for you doing all this for me.
No,
he's
you
like,
need to
sure.
scram. You need to get out of here.
So they eat. Dave's leaving as Cal is walking in, and Cal has breakfast for her.
It's a comedy of errors.
Yep.
As we've seen before.
Dave stops her, only not so funny.
Yeah. A little serious.
Yeah, a little serious.
A serious of errors.
And so fucking Dave's like, what are you doing here? Cal's like, what are you doing here? And Dave's like, you bringing that breakfast up to Scotty? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, I wouldn't worry about it. We just had breakfast. She makes mean eggs. Cal's like, what the fuck? Are you two sleeping together? He goes, well, we were together all night last night, but we weren't sleeping.
Wow. Wow.
What a fucking piece of shit.
What a piece of shit.
And so
but
Cal...
she's definitely married.
And so Cal, I was hoping he wouldn't do this.
Oh.
But he turns around and leaves.
Yeah.
He doesn't go up there and fucking ask her because he's seeing red at this point. He's like, she's actually, yeah. What are you going to assume? You know, doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good.
And so he texts her and she's waiting for him. And eventually she's like, hey, are we still on for this morning?
Yeah.
He texts back, no. And she's like, oh, why? And he texts back, things have run their course, period.
Yeah.
And
End of book.
And then that's it. And she's like really sad about it. She's like, that sucks. Like, I like this guy. He's super nice. Like, she's like, this, I'm really sad that.
Yeah, big bums.
Yeah. And she's like, I guess he really is a fuck boy.
Yeah.
So then he looks her up online that night and he finds out that she is indeed married.
Yeah, totally.
And he is pissed.
Yeah.
He can't believe that she's turned him into the other man now. And he's just like so upset.
Okay, not to like victim blame. Did he ever ask her if she was married?
No.
I mean, you should probably like say that up front if you are married, but
for sure.
Still.
For sure.
It's not like she said she wasn't.
Well, you'll see. So
obviously she's fleeing her psycho Christian husband or something.
So 1 month goes by. And he, like 2 weeks in, or it was like a few days in, he goes and gets like blackout drunk at the dive bar. And she's like walking in as he's walking out. And he's like, looks at her and sneers something really nasty. He's like, oh, what are you in here getting your next conquest or something?
Yeah.
And she looks at him and she's like, why is this guy being mean to me?
Yeah.
Like everything was great. And then he just cut it off and now he's being an asshole.
Yep.
And so she's like really freaking out. She's like, this is not cool. And so she runs into him on a run one time and she's like, he tries to like say something and she's like, don't fucking talk to me. Turns around and runs the other way and then runs into him again and just like runs away again. So yeah, it's not been going good. Meanwhile, on her runs, she's finding peace though within herself. She is like, even though he's being an asshole, she is still like, I'm glad I'm out here. I'm doing this on my own. Like, and she found a street that she loves to run down. And there's like these beautiful old Victorian homes. And there's like this one home that she looks at and she's just like, this will be my home one day. Yeah. This is my home. I love this. Like, whatever. So one day she packs up and she heads to the mountains on a really big hike. imagine like a 14er. Like you got to get up there at like 5 a.m. It's like 9 miles long out and back. She rolls up. There's only one truck in the parking lot.
Whose could it be?
And so she's hiking, and she sees a man coming down towards her. And she's like, is that fucking Cal? And it is. It's Cal.
Yeah, it's Cal.
And Cal like stops, and she stops, and he's like, hey. And she's like, hi, looks down and just keeps walking. And he leaves.
Good.
The weather was supposed to be bad in a couple days. She checked the weather, but today's the last day that it's clear.
Weather changes all the time. This is why we can't defund NOAA.
Right.
We need to track the weather.
Yes, we do.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
People's lives depend on it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so she's getting higher and higher up in the mountain. She's doing like switchback after switchback after switchback. I think she's like 6 miles in or some shit. And she's like, is it snowing? Oh my God, it's snowing. I've never really seen snow. And then it starts snowing.
Was she in a bunker? Is this a Kimmy Schmidt situation?
And well, she's from Arkansas.
Same.
It's just like she's seen a dusting before, but that's it. So then it really starts picking up, and the wind is whirring, like it's like 30-mile-an-hour gusts.
Is she bundled up?
But she brought layers, and she brought a little backpack, but not much is in it, you know. She should be turning back.
Yeah, so
and
like, was Cal turning back because he was like the weather?
She was just like, man, he must have got here really early. That's what I was saying. You know, who knows? We don't get a perspective from that. I don't know if he did the whole thing or he just maybe did a couple miles and came back.
Because I was like, how early is he there?
Right.
If he's done with
well, some people will go at like 3 in the morning.
Well, yeah, some people can't.
So they're done by 10 a.m. So she should be turning around and she's not. And all of a sudden, hears like loud cracking, tree cracking sounds. And she's like, then some rocks start falling.
Rock slide.
And so she, like, huge rocks. And she's like,
boulders.
Fuck. So she throws off her backpack and just starts fucking running.
Throws off her backpack?
Well, she's just got to get going. She's like, I'm about to die.
Well,
so I'm going to try and outrun this rock slide, but I don't have much faith.
Good for her. And
so she's running, and then the world just goes black. Cut to Cal's home from his hike. He gets a text from his buddy like, hey man, you back? I heard it's getting really ugly up there on the mountain. He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm back. And then he's like, fucking Scotty, hope she turned around.
Scotty's dead and it's your fault, Cal.
So he texts her, he calls her, straight to voicemail, no reply. And he's like got a shitty feeling about it. He's like pacing around. He's like, fuck, I'm going to drive past her apartment and see if her car's there. Car's not there. He's like, God damn it. So he goes home, packs up all his shit, like his gear and some food.
Yeah, rescue
space blankets,
stuff.
like rescue stuff. And he's like, I'm just going to go see if her car is at the trailhead still. And he gets there and it is.
Obviously.
So he's like, fuck, God damn it, Scotty. And so he starts hiking and he's like, where's her husband? Shouldn't her fucking husband be rescuing her? Like,
why are you out here then?
Having all these thoughts, you know? So then we get her perspective. She comes to. She is severely concussed. She's seeing like triple vision, immediately throws up, can't stand, has a huge open gash on her head.
Can't stand? Is she not buried?
She's not buried. Damn. She's like it's right behind her. Trail's gone.
Yeah.
Fucking huge boulders. And she's like got no depth perception. She's like trying to get up. She's like holding onto the side of the wall. And then it's kind of long and drawn out, but she's just assessing her situation. Like, what do I do? And now it's dumping wet snow and the wind is like 50 miles an hour. She's freezing. She's like,
no backpack either.
She's like, I'm about to get frostbite. Like, it's bad situation. And
lay down, go to sleep.
Yeah. So after, and she's like, describes like what it's like to freeze to death. And she's like, I'll go numb warm. And it'll be fall asleep. Like, it'll be fine. And she's like, so I'm going to die here or I'm going to die trying to get out of here. So
I know.
Either fucking way, she's like, I guess I'll try and fight a little bit, you know?
That's what I think all the time.
She sees a little crevasse and she can see white on the other end, but it is like 12 feet. And she's like, could I slither in there? But what if I get trapped and it's a 127 hours thing? I got to cut my arm. Like, what if I she's like, it doesn't matter. I'm dead either way. Yeah. So fuck it, I'm going to try. So she scoots into this hole in the rocks and is trying to like get through. And then she realizes it's tighter and tighter and tighter. And she's like trying not to get claustrophobic. She's like, just calm down. Panicking won't help you. But she has to get her arm out in front of her. And she like can't get
she's
her
gonna get
arm
stuck
out.
Like some of
and
those
so she's just like, she's giving up. She's like, I'm stuck. I can't wiggle my way back. My arms are now pinned. I'm stuck in these rocks.
Yeah, this is it. This is my tomb.
Yep. And then finally, Cal sees, he's like, what the fuck am I looking at? And he sees this massive rock slide. And then right in the rumble or tumble, whatever, he sees her backpack. He's
so
like,
is it
fuck.
good that she left her backpack?
He's like, God damn it. So he's screaming. Finally, he hears a very faint help.
Help.
Uh-huh.
Help.
Is this riveting to you, Paul?
This was picked up.
Right?
This has picked up. I'm like, what? Smut? What sex? Like, we have an emergency.
Right. So he's like, I'm coming, baby. I'm coming, sweetheart. Like saying all these things. I bet he is. Uh-huh. And so then it's another it's a long chapter and it's very dramatic. And I'm like, can't really picture it, but whatever. He also is a rock climber. So he's scaling these boulders. There's like a 30-foot drop. He's doing all this gnarly fucking shit. And eventually he gets onto the other side and he can see her feet. And he like grabs her ankles and he's like, okay, I'm going to try and get you out if you can help me, you know, shimmy down or whatever.
Shouldn't he call for help?
Yeah. I'm like, no one brought a radio. No one brought a satellite phone, you know?
Okay.
So then he hears like this blood curdling scream and she's like, just keep going, just keep pulling me. Comes out,
no arm,
her arm's been completely dislocated, her shoulder was dislocated. He's like looking at her, he's like, she looks like the color of a dead body. She can't really talk, like she's chattering like she's delirious. God. Her arm is dislocated.
Well, get one of these face blankets on her.
Mm-hmm. So he gives her gloves, hand warmers, all this stuff. And then she's like kind of trying to talk him through how to put her arm back in place and they get her shoulder back in place. And he's like, again, assessing the situation. He's like, well, there's no way we're getting over this. He goes, there is a fire lookout cabin.
Of course.
Up here.
Of course.
Uh-huh. And he was like, we just have to get through it.
I don't think they should have sex for her health.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't think they should have sex.
The guy, she's like, she clearly needs stitches.
Yeah. We can't have her heart pumping.
Yeah. So finally he convinces her and she's terrified. She's freaked out. They're going back and forth. They're screaming at each other at this point. And he's like, you just have to fucking listen to me. We have to go. And so they start walking. And then he starts being like a dick to her. He's like, I don't have any. Well, because now he's back to like, I fucking hate you. Like, I'm rescued you. I'm glad you're alive.
No, we're not out of the woods yet, literally.
But then he's like, just keep walking, Scotty. Come on, just keep going. I don't have any sympathy for you. Just shut up and walk. But then we get from his perspective, he's like, I'm trying to keep her riled up because she's fading so quickly. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I guess I can get with that.
Sure.
It's bad. Finally, hours later, they get to the cabin and snow is waist deep.
I don't understand how he didn't have some kind of
radio.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Beacon help thing.
And the lookout cabin does not have a radio.
Of course not.
Mm-hmm. So they get to the cabin and they're just like beat to fucking shit. He's like, I can't stop now. I've got to get us water. I know there's a stream like about a mile away.
Wood and gas. And
they've got some wood. There's some wood cut in there. There's some supplies in there. There's some food in there.
Okay. We're doing good then.
Yeah. But he's like, we have no water. I have to go get us water. And there's a 5-gallon jug. So he's like, stay here. She's like, please don't go. She's freaked out. She's like, please don't leave me alone.
What, you think the rocks are going to come back for her?
They're going to come get her. He's like, you just have to sit here. Shut up. I'm going to go get water. And so he goes.
What about some snow melt?
And leaves. And it's pitch black in there. Like, she literally can't see anything. He took the only headlamp that was there.
He didn't start a fire first?
And so nope, he didn't.
What the fuck?
Right. And so she's like feeling around for matches and lighters. She's like, I've got to get a fire started. And she's like, I can't find anything. And then she's like, sits there and just like starts rocking back and forth because it's pitch black. And now she's like, he's been gone way too long. He told me he'd be back in 30 minutes. And so she just starts counting to 600 over and over and over and over again.
Cool. That doesn't sound crazy.
And he finally shows up. And when he gets in there, he's like, what the fuck? You didn't start a fire?
Livid. I would be so mad. I'd be like, we should have started a fire before you left, and I would have tended said fire.
Exactly, Paul.
Fucking men.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So he's like being a dickhead to her, and she's like, don't fucking yell at me. And I'm
like, she's concussed.
That's the whole thing. Like, even while she was looking around, she's like, was confused still. She was like severely concussed.
He's crazy for leaving that place not with a fire going.
I couldn't agree more. Ugh. I had the same thought, Paul.
I'm pissed about
that. Was the only thing he did that pissed me off, but well, besides not talking to her and asking her if she was married to fuck Dave. It's like, just ask then, motherfucker. Anyway, so he's like, you couldn't find, he opens a cabinet. He's like, lighter, matches. And she's like, I looked in there. I swear I looked in there.
I'm not from here.
Right.
This isn't my house.
For sure. So he gets a fire started and they start to like defrost. They're sitting in front of it and like just a long time goes by. They're silent. And finally he's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being an asshole. He's like, let me look at your head. And so he's like tending to her.
Just now he's looking at the head?
Yeah. Well, they're freaking out, man.
I guess so, but it's like, first things first, fire, treat the wound. Like,
yeah, he's like helping her head, and then they crawl into the little twin bed in the corner, and he's like, we have to hold each other
for warmth.
And so she's like laying there crying, but she doesn't like let him see, and she's like, God, I'd feel so good in his arms. I just wish that none of this would have happened.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Day 2. So he takes stock in the morning. They have water. They have food. They've got logs here, but they're blowing through them. But there's another log that he saw that he can cut apart, blah, blah, blah. Make firewood.
Wood stuff.
Yep. And so he's like, we're just going to have to wait it out. He's like, I think we might be here for like up to 5 days. And this is what I mean by this is the most intense forced proximity I've ever read.
Yeah.
Like they are stuck in a one room.
It's a survival
cannot
situation.
Go outside. Yeah. Like the most forced proximity ever. So that day goes out like onto the catwalk and he's like, I'm going to try and send a text, but the weather is just so fucking bad. You can't see more than like 5 feet in front of your face.
Okay.
So he's like, whatever, we'll see if that sends. Turns his phone off to preserve the battery.
Sure.
And then he's like, let's just go back to sleep. And so they just go back to sleep and sleep through the day a lot. And then she witnesses him having a nightmare, which is another symptom of his PTSD. Yeah. And she's just like holding him. She's like, shh, I'm here, whatever.
Okay.
So they have that little thing there.
So they'll start choking her in his sleep.
Uh-huh. You're right. And so she's like soothing him a little bit. And then he kind of like winces away and she's just like, why does this man loathe me? She's like trying to think about it. She's like,
what did I do?
Why does he have such contempt for me? So
if she only knew.
So finally she's like, well, I found some board games. Like, do you want to play a board game or something? Like It's been hours of silence.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, let's play a board game. So they play Battleship.
Clue. Sorry.
Is Clue fun with 2 people?
No, probably not.
I don't even know. Can you play it with 2 people? You could.
I mean, in a pin.
And so they start talking a little bit, and then she's like, can we be friends now? Because we're being friendly. She's like, what's the deal? He goes, I can't be friends with a woman who, and like cuts off. And she's like, what? A woman that what? And then it all comes out.
Yeah.
He's like, you're married.
Mm-hmm.
You fucked
Adulterer.
Dave. And she's like, whoa, I've never fucked Dave.
I might be married, but insane. I never fucked that guy.
Uh-huh. She's like, he's married. I would never do that. And he goes, you're married. And so she's like, you need to let me explain myself.
Yeah. Everybody chill out.
Yeah, I'm going to read a little. I'm trying to get a divorce, she says. Crossing my arms, I ask, did you serve him papers? No, but I scoff and spit on my heel. What game does she think she's playing? She stomps her foot like a toddler. Would you just shut up and listen to me? It was a lavender marriage. I didn't even have a choice. The only way to leave the marriage was to leave home. I left everything I had. When I face her, she's wearing a scowl. A lavender what? You both look pretty fucking happy in that photo. He saw a wedding photo of her online. Sure. My husband is gay.
I was going to say, that's what a lavender wedding is, or marriage is, right?
She goes, my husband is gay. I throw up my arms. Oh, is he now? She continues, despite my obvious doubt. It's a fucked up form of conversion therapy. I come from a fundamentalist community where a man is found to be, or even suspected to be gay. The church intervenes. God. They choose a woman in the congregation to be chosen for what they refer to as a purity bride, with the hope that the man's evil inclination will pass.
Oh my God.
She gestures using finger quotes. Once they've been with an attractive woman. Is she serious? I shake my head. No way. She goes, Jonathan and I are friends. We've been friends since we were little. His parents were like my parents. We saved each other. I love him, but not in the way a wife loves her husband. I begged him to come here with me. We fought about this for months. I stayed for as long as I did because I loved him, but eventually I couldn't wait anymore. I had to leave, and so I did, alone.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And he's just like processing this. I mean, he's like, what?
Yeah.
And he keeps saying, he's like, that's a cult.
Yeah, that is a cult.
Yeah, he's like, you've come from a cult. And she's like, well, I don't call it that. Anyway, this sounds fucking crazy, Cal says. Because it is crazy. It's awful. I don't want to be a part of any community who would cause others so much pain. But leaving the fold isn't just moving. It's exile. There were stories of people escaping and being dragged back. I tried to get Jonathan to come with me, but he wouldn't. So I left. Holy shit, this is the most bizarre situation. Her story is almost too strange to believe. I've never heard of anything like this happening outside of movies or true crime documentaries.
So it is a Mormon thing.
Well, fundamentalist. Yeah,
this is Mormon.
Yeah.
This for sure.
Then he was like, how was he supposed to be cured? Did you sleep with Jonathan? And she said, yes. And Cal goes, like, sex? She goes, yes. He goes, he could, how? And she's just like explaining this to him. And then she says,
he'd think about you, and he'd get hard, and he'd fuck me.
Right? He knew I was pulling away, and it scared him. It was about a year before I left when I started proposing we leave, but he was stuck in denial. I worry he's still under the impression that he needs to be saved from some kind of sinful affliction.
No.
I think he believes them. So do you still have feelings for him? Or are you separated? What's the deal? We're separated. My feelings for Jonathan will always run deep, but they aren't romantic. He's my best friend. We saved each other.
They're like girlfriends.
And I'll always feel guilt over our marriage. The fold made him believe he was broken, and I went along with it. He was never broken. I was. Hold on, let me take a drink. Isn't this fun, Paul? Isn't this interesting?
Yeah. Hello. Twists and turns.
Yeah. I told him we could start our lives over together, but separate. I was tired of chasing unmet needs. I wanted a partner who truly desired me. I was sick of going through the motions, experiencing shallow intimacy that only existed on a platonic level.
Yeah.
I wanted to have sex and truly feel satisfied.
Yes.
I've been craving it my whole life, but always blamed it on my own shortcomings, something that was my fault. I didn't try hard enough, didn't pray loud enough.
Ugh, caca. Oh
yep.
My God.
So Cal is just sitting there like jaw on the floor.
Well, I'd be like, this all makes a lot more sense now.
And he's like, wow. Wish I would have asked her instead of running away when Dave came out. He's like, fuck me for doing that. I'm
going to kill Dave.
Yes. Also, Dave's fucking dead.
Dude.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah. I'm like, move. Yes. I'm moving. I never want to see these people again.
Right. Or Dave, get the fuck out of here.
I know, but I don't think Dave's leaving.
No.
Dave gives me not leaving vibes.
No. He's here for the long haul.
Yeah.
So he apologizes. It's a long apology. And because I'm like, Cal's got a little bit of groveling to do, in my opinion.
100%.
And he was such a dick to her.
He was.
I was like, you've got some groveling to do here, buddy. And he does. There's a long apology. It's very heartfelt. And I was like, okay, I can forgive you. You're lucky you're hot.
You're very lucky
He's so lucky he looks like that.
Yeah. If you didn't have a chin, bad hair,
that's all it would take.
Busted body.
Yep.
This behavior would not be acceptable.
For sure. But because you're hot, I'll forgive you.
Because you're hot, kiss me.
Kiss me. So then he opens up to her and he's like, well, here's why that Dave thing fucked me up so bad. His wife, Molly, was my fiance of 7 years. We grew up together and I walked in on him fucking her. And now Scotty's like, holy shit. And then he tells her what Dave did that morning. And I'm like, thank God he told her, because so many people would not say. So I'm glad he told her. She's like, what a fucking asshole.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I would have been like, and then Dave told me that he fucked you that morning and then I came over.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yep. So now it's sinking into him how inexperienced she really is. She was married to Jonathan for 14 years.
Yeah, so he's number 2, and he's the only straight man she's had sex with.
Yeah.
So
he's like, holy shit, this is fucking wild.
Yeah.
So they just have this really beautiful come to Jesus moment. Pun intended. No pun intended. So then he like pulls her onto him. She's straddling him on the little bed. And they're just like hugging each other, kissing each other. And he's like, if we're going to do this, let's just be open with each other. No more skeletons.
Yeah.
And
he goes, I killed a man in 1972.
In 1972.
No one ever found the body.
He's 50 years old.
And I'm 50 years old.
Older than that.
Everyone thinks that I'm 33, but I'm actually...
60.
Yeah.
So then he like says to her, she says to him, what do you want? And he goes, I want more than just fun with you, Prescott. I want to make you mine.
Ooh. Is he going to pee on her?
Marcus territory. He's just...
Yeah, and then it turns out this is a firefighting piss kink.
Oh, that would be fucking insane.
He's always spraying his hose everywhere.
Uh-huh. Lots of jokes you could make.
Yeah.
Okay, day 3. They've boiled water and they have taken little whore baths.
Yeah.
They had some wipies, so they've cleaned themselves.
They're gonna fuck.
They made like I was like
yeah.
I was like
there's
Sloan,
only one reason we're doing this.
I was like, Sloan, I know why you're setting this up.
Yeah.
They made like toothpaste out of like baking soda and they're using like paper towels. They're like, so they've cleaned themselves, they washed their clothes. Their clothes are like drying in front of the stove. And so she's just in a t-shirt, his t-shirt, no underwear on. He knows she's not wearing any underwear. And he's just in his boxer briefs.
Hello. Little Hanes commercial.
So they start playing Battleship again, and it's really fucking cute.
The whole
what?
Strip Battleship.
It turns into Strip Battleship.
But they're both
She's like,
only wearing
I'm not
one
wearing
thing.
anything. But it's like super cute how they're doing it, and then he starts like taunting her, and she's getting all worked up, and he's getting all hard. And she takes her shirt off and she's just sitting there with it on her thing. And he's like, she's trying to be modest and cover herself up, but I can fucking see everything.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Whore. Asking for it.
Asking for it.
Begging for it. Really.
And then she's like, leans over once they've sunk everything. And she's like, will you teach me how you like it? And he's like, you want to suck this fat cock? Is what he says.
He said, relax your throat, bitch.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then he's like, you're such a good girl. I'm so proud of you. While she's doing it, like giving her all this praise.
You love this book.
Oh, of course I love this book. I will tell you this. Sloan, the spice she writes, I was like, when I saw that there were only 5 chili peppers, I was like, oh, this is going to be a tame book because she writes the most insane spice. Stand and Defend is fucking
okay. Good. Yeah. Well, yeah.
But this is certainly a more tame book from her. But she still knows how to write a man with a mouth.
Story heavy.
Very. But he's saying shit to her, and I'm like, whoa. And so she's like, just kind of like writing on him, but not. There's no P and G yet.
Okay.
Her basement is flooded.
Obviously,
it's like going everywhere. And then he's like, I don't have a condom, and she's like, well, fucking pull out then.
Yeah. Like they taught me in the church.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, are you allowed birth control in the church?
No, you have to pray it away.
Pray the baby away?
Yeah.
Finally, after they're done and it's like this hot and heavy scene, he pulls out and he comes all over her tits, leans over, licks it up, and then spits it into her mouth.
Ooh, that's hot.
Is
that a little gay?
I was
I
like,
don't know.
I know. I was like,
that feels a little gay to me.
Oh, me too, but I like a little gay.
Well, yeah, of course you do.
I like the gay guys.
You do like gay guys.
I do, very much so. And so I was like, that's fucking hot. Like, mind you, this is day 3. So the storm is easing up slightly. And so he's chatting with her after that. And he's like, I think we can leave in 2 days. That's my plan.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of maps there, obviously. So he's been looking at it and he's mapped a way for them to get down. He thinks that they can use. And meanwhile, she's just like, this man is so capable.
Yeah. I would not even be listening to him.
Me neither. I'd be like...
I'd just be staring at him.
I even wrote this down. I said, God, he's just so capable.
Yeah.
I said, I would be on my knees, dinner made every night for this man.
Well,
you could call me Mrs. Callahan Woods.
Well, yeah,
I don't even have a name anymore. I'm his. For this man.
Angela Woods.
Uh-huh.
Hunter.
That's kind of a fun name.
Hunter to Woods.
Woods Hunter. Hunter Woods.
Hunter
Woods. That's a fun name.
Hunter Woods.
Maybe that's like a pen name.
Yeah.
They're eating, there's like canned green beans, chicken and rice soup, chicken and whatever. They're like, she's like, I can't wait to have a crunchy salad when I get the fuck out of here, you know?
No, just avocado toast.
Just like shit like that, you know? She's like, well, can we talk about what's going to happen when we get back?
Can we talk about us?
Yeah. He was like, he laughs a little. He's like, what do you mean?
You're moving
mine
into
now.
my house. Yeah. We're getting married, and you're about to pop out all of my children.
He's like, you're mine now. This is not stopping when we get off this mountaintop. And she's like,
I'm not pulling out anymore.
Day 4.
Okay.
The wind has stopped. Ooh. And he gets up and he opens the door, and it's the first time he's opened the door that the wind hasn't like ripped it off. And he was like, Scotty, come here, I want to show you something.
Scotty!
And she comes out now because the snow is gone and the wind is lower. She can see the entire fucking mountain range.
Beautiful.
And it's the most beautiful thing. She's like, I don't know if there is a God, but if there is a God, this is where he is. He's not in fucking Arkansas.
Oh, get off the God stuff, girl. You laughed.
You laughed. So they're just like living in it. And he's like, I'm going to try and send one last text now that everything's a little more clear. So he gets a text out to King and Xander that's just like, this is the route we're taking. This is the date. This is what's happened. Come help us if you can. And he's like, fuck, I think it's going to go through. And then his phone dies. So he doesn't know if the text goes through or not.
Oh, I bet it does. I bet it does.
So they're prepping everything. And meanwhile, they're still just having like this really deep conversations, like just opening up about everything. Because what else are you going to fucking talk about?
Your entire life.
Your entire life, apparently. So he tells her about his parents, his sister Teddy, her husband, his niece and nephew, his best friends. He tells her that he's been diagnosed with complex PTSD.
Yeah.
And that he gets really bad panic attacks and all this stuff. And she's like, well, are you getting help for it?
Yeah.
Are you doing anything for it? And he's like, no.
Just living with it.
Just living with it. Raw dogging it. She's like, I will do this with you.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you, I didn't expect to meet someone so soon.
Yeah.
I have a lot of trauma that I'm working through. Yeah. And my priority has been finding an appropriate therapist that can help me work through this stuff. And she was like, I will be with you, but I can't be with you if you're not going to work on yourself.
Amen.
That is a healthy boundary.
That is. I mean, I say that not in therapy, but
right.
Someone should stand up.
So she goes, if you want to do this with me, you're going to have to fight. Title drop. Yep. You're going to have to fight for yourself. You're going to have to fight for us. And he's like, okay, I'll work on myself.
Okay.
You're worth it. Whatever. Day 5.
Okay. Can we get the show on the road?
We're trekking down the mountain.
There we go.
And it's grueling.
Of course.
And she's only 5'3". He's like 6'2". The snow is up to here, so she's having to lift her fucking leg. And so hours and hours and hours go by, and it's a long chapter. But finally, we hear a sound.
It's Xander and the other guy.
It's a side-by-side, and it is Xander and King. And they are there to pick them up.
That's right.
His text went through.
I knew it.
And they tell her, oh, by the way, your husband reported you missing 2 days ago. And her stomach sinks. And like, she's like, how the fuck does he know where I'm at? That means the fold knows where I'm at, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So Cal's panicking. She's panicking. They get down to the bottom of the mountain and it's a massive reunion. There's like ambulances. His sister Teddy, her husband, her 2 kids are there. And there's Jonathan. And
there's Jonathan.
Runs to her and is like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're alive.
He runs to her. Oh, girl. So happy to see you. I love being gay.
I want a gif of you doing this forever. And so Cal is like watching. She introduces Cal to Jonathan, Jonathan to Cal. And
he's like, damn, he's so hot.
Jonathan's like, she's like,
yeah. Whoa. I hope you're hitting that, wife.
So he's like, thank you so much for saving my wife. I don't know what I would have done if I lost her, all this shit. And Cal is just like sick to his stomach. And he's like, says goodbye to his sister and her family. And then he gets in his truck and leaves.
I feel like, why?
And then he's like, our bubble has popped. Like our little bubble of
because if I'm her, I'm walking out and I'm going, we're not together. We're not together.
They are together, though. I mean, they were like, you're mine. He was like, you're mine now. We're doing this.
No, I'm saying if I'm her and I'm coming out, my husband, Jonathan's there. I'm going, we're not together. Yes. I'm like, he's running up. I go, we're not.
Right.
This isn't a thing.
Right. So.
Just so everyone here knows.
Yes. Like, this is my husband.
That's my husband. I wouldn't out him.
No.
I was just like, I left him.
Right.
He shouldn't be here.
Yeah. So he sends her a text that night and he's like, Scotty, I am not going anywhere. I will fight for you for as long as I need to. I miss you already. I'm not going anywhere.
I would have been like, you shouldn't have let me leave with this guy who's part of this cult that might take me back. Like, I should have left with you in that truck because it's safer.
Yeah. Cut to Jonathan and her at her studio apartment. And
he's not invited to my house.
It goes on for a while, but he's laying it on thick. He's like, you need to come home. He's he's referencing scripture to her.
Good for him.
He's like, Ezekiel, blah, 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 whatever.
My favorite kind of bread.
Me too. I eat it every day.
It's really good.
Yeah. So he's like, the council found out once you left that we've been lying the entire time. I haven't been cured. They are blackmailing me. They're going to exile me. I'm going to lose my license, whatever he does. And they're sending me back to conversion therapy unless you come fucking back with me. And he's like, please, you're all I have. My life is nothing without you. You have to come back.
I would say, like, why don't we get you another apartment here? I already have a hot firefighter husband. I'm wifed up.
We're
husband now.
Yeah.
And we can live here. I'll get you a job at the grocery store. Like, whatever.
So she is like, just leave them, Jonathan. Life is better. She's like, I promise you.
You sound so dumb right now.
Right. She's like, I promise you it's better. She's like, outsiders think it's a cult. Cal thinks it's a cult. And he's like, you're in love with Cal, aren't you? And he's like, I saw the way you looked at him.
Damn right.
And she says, yes, I am.
Yeah.
And she's like, you could have this too.
Yeah, you could have a hunky firefighter.
Right.
Who turns you out.
Yes, and you'll love it.
You'll love it.
He's like, please just come back with me. Convince them that I'm not gay, and then I will give you a divorce. I'll let you leave. And she's like, how long? How long do you want to come back for?
Nope.
And he goes, I don't know, a few years?
I don't know, decade? 2? Just till my parents die.
Right. Just till there's a new generation.
Yeah.
She's like, fuck no. I can give you a year. I can give you 1 year.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That's insane. I'm going to go back to prison for 1 year just,
right.
to be chill.
Yep. And she says that to him because she's like,
I need to get him out of my house.
I left and now he's paying the price. I'm selfish.
No, he chose that price.
He's choosing to stay.
Yeah.
But she's like, they're punishing him now because of my life choices. I'll go back and give him a year and we'll figure this out.
Boo.
Boo.
No.
So she goes and she meets up with Cal and he's like, I bet you're hungry. It's still that day. It's that same day. Okay. It's that evening.
Okay.
Because they were rescued early in the morning, like 8 a.m. And so now he's like, do you want to have dinner with me tonight? I bet you're starving. And she's like, yes, let's go have dinner. So they go out to this diner and she tells him, she's like, I've chatted with Jonathan, blah, blah, blah. Here's what happened.
I hope he's like, no, you're not. I hate controlling men, but in this one single situation, you're allowed to tell her no.
She goes, I'm going back to the fold. And Cal goes, I'm sorry, but no.
Yeah.
That's not
That one actually doesn't work for me.
Yeah. He goes, no, Prescott.
Yeah.
You're not doing that. You're not going back. And he goes, it's not safe for him. And I'm imagining they don't have much in the way of women's rights. I'm not letting you go back.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I can't leave, tomorrow. I have to put 2 weeks in with the EMTs, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, just give me a week. He's like, please. He goes, don't put your notice in. Just give me a week. Let me figure this out.
I bet I have a plan. You go, you fuck the husband. You show him how good that man feels.
That would convince him real quick.
And I'm guaranteed.
Jonathan's like, the fold who?
He's all, what? Never mind.
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
No more
I can't hear God over all the cum in my ears. Like.
And she says, okay. And he was like, please come home with me tonight.
Yeah.
So she, no. He's like, okay, let me take you home.
No, to my home.
And he's like, God, this building looks like shit from the outside. I can only imagine what it looks like from the inside. So he walks her up and he sees it. And a literal rat runs across the floor.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, you're not staying here either. This is crazy. He's like, you are coming home with me. Please come home with me. And she's like, no, like I've tried really hard. And he goes, does your little friend in the corner think that? And she sees the rat and she's like, okay, I'll go with you.
Whatever.
So she packs up some stuff and he takes her home. And he pulls onto Spencer Street. And she's like, I love this street. I walk by this street
house
all the time.
It's the house.
She goes, I want to show you one of the houses on this street. And then all of a sudden he's pulling into the driveway.
Oh my God. She starts crying.
And she goes, this is your house? This house is your house. And he's like, yeah, Scotty, I live here. That's why I'm in the driveway.
Been living here.
And he's like being sarcastic asshole because that's who he is. And she goes, I don't think you understand. This is my house. He goes, no, this is my house. And she's like, this is the house of my dreams. I walk past this house all the time. He's like, really? And so for the past couple years, he has completely renovated the entire house. The living room is still closed off with plastic because that's the last room. But he did the whole kitchen, the bathrooms, and it's an old Victorian house and it's beautiful.
That sounds great.
And so she's like, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
And how's she supposed to go home now, Paul?
Yeah. It's like there's a God.
He gives her a bath and washes her and it's very sensual. And then that night they make love and he was like, I love you, Scotty.
Yeah.
She's like, I love you too. I know it's soon, but when you know, you know.
Yeah. And what, Jonathan's just down at the Circle 8?
He's at a motel. He's at a local motel. Yeah.
Sucking dick and cock.
I mean, he's like, should I download Grindr?
Should I open Grindr? He's got it downloaded.
He's too scared of God.
No, it's in his utilities app. Like, it's hidden.
It's hidden. So the next morning, he sends her off to work, and he's like, time to get to work.
Kills Jonathan.
He goes to her apartment and packs up all of her stuff, which is an air mattress,
I was gonna say,
one pot, one pan,
trash bag's worth
chair.
of things.
Yeah, like literally. And then he goes down to he's like, I'm turning in Scotty's key. Does she owe you any money? Blah, blah, blah. And so he gets her out of that apartment. And then he goes,
competency of all of this is
Paul,
getting me rock hard.
That's what was getting me rock hard.
You're taking care of my bills. You're talking to the office. Oh my goodness.
Wait till this then.
Oh, is he going to make a dentist appointment for me? Because I'll come.
Seriously. So then he goes to Jonathan's hotel room.
And he does fuck him.
And I'm going to read you.
Okay, this is going to be sweet.
This is going to be this. Well, you'll see. So, okay. How much did Scotty tell you about where we came from? Yeah. Jonathan. She's told me enough. She must not have. I assume she at least told you about our arrangement. Here's the thing. I'm being blackmailed. They're threatening me out of our community. Your community. Scotty doesn't belong to them anymore.
Yeah, motherfucker.
I'll be exiled. I'll lose my job, my medical license, my home, my friends, my family, my safety, everything. If I don't return with Scotty, I will lose everything. And what the hell will Scotty lose by returning? What about her life?
That's right.
Cal says. His expression turns sympathetic as tears swell. He can't even look at me right now. He knows this is wrong. I love her, Jonathan whispers. If you love Scotty half as much as you say you do, you'll do this for her. She's covered for you her entire life. This is her chance. This is your chance to return the favor. He stands and crosses his arms. What do you want me to do? I throw my hands out to the side. Call their bluff. Look, you're obviously important to her, which means you're important to me. We will do everything we can to help you, but you have to take the first step. You choose to love. Who you choose to love is nothing to be ashamed of or fear. Staying in that community is far more damaging than leaving it. I understand our relationship is hard for most people to understand, but I just need to get her back until things calm down. After that, we can leave together. No, my tone is bullshit. Sharp. She gave you that opportunity months ago. You didn't take it. You may not like the sound of this, but Scotty is not leaving Skyridge. She's not safe with the fold. She may be too fucking selfless to guard the home she's found here, but I'm not. We will support you while you make your separation from the church and help you get established out here, but you can't expect her to do all the work. It's going to take effort from you. She's fought too hard to get where she is.
This is a man. Woo! Ooh, Papa.
Jonathan stands and paces as he runs his hands through his hair. He pauses, glaring at me. I shrug. Aren't you tired of feeling trapped? I'm not telling you to come out. That's on your own time, but I'm asking you to at least honor her request for a divorce before you leave town. I don't understand what the rush is, because I can't marry her until you divorce her, I spit out. I need time to think about it, Jonathan says. I speak my next words very clearly. Here's what you need to think about. I'm offering you a chance to start over, and that offer has an expiration date. I don't have to make an enemy out of you. It's obvious you're an important person to the woman I love, but I will bring hell to your doorstep if you fight me on this. Oh. He smirks. Is that a threat? It's a promise.
Oh, he's a little turned on.
You will not be leaving with Scotty. She's staying in Skyridge.
Jonathan chubbed up,
right? Ready
to go. Like, yeah. Well, he's like, whatever you say.
Uh-huh.
It's always nice when your straight girl, like, friend's boyfriend likes you.
Yes.
You know? Uh-huh. It's a good one.
It's a good one. So, 4 days goes by.
Okay.
It's the end of the week.
Yeah.
And Scotty has just been... Every moment her and Cal have shared in this last week, she's just like, I'm going to miss this so much.
Obviously.
He's like, I can tell she's trying to like memorize my face. She's trying to remember these moments.
She's saying goodbye.
But little does she know, she's not fucking going anywhere.
Yeah.
This is what Cal's thinking, you know? So it's the last night. She's got her resignation letter ready. She's going to turn it in tomorrow morning. He's got her like up on the table. He's like, I told you I would fuck you in every room of this house. Let's make good on that.
Uh-oh.
Boop, boop, boop. Knock on the door.
Jonathan.
He goes and answers it. And he's like, Scotty, someone's here to see you.
The Pope.
The Pope.
I've come to get you myself, Scotty.
Jonathan walks in. Cal's like, I'll give you guys some privacy, and goes upstairs and like goes in the room and closes the door. And her and Jonathan have this heartfelt conversation. He's sobbing and he's like, here's the divorce papers. Yeah. I've signed everything.
Let's go.
Cal has set me up with an organization here in an apartment to help me get away. And I'm leaving. And she's like, What? Oh my God.
Like leaving the church.
He's leaving Arkansas and he's staying in Skyridge.
Great. I think that's a great plan.
And Cal set it up.
How? But I mean, whatever.
And she's like, I just can't believe this. And she's like, do you want to stay for dinner? And he's like, I don't think I'm there yet. I still love you very much. And there's a lot. She's like, I get it. There's a lot going on. I'm not going to push you. Like, I'm just so happy. Thank you.
Plus,
I love you.
You were just about to fuck in the living room.
Hello.
Like,
so she's just like over the moon. And so Cal comes down the stairs and he's like, I want you to know, girl, I got intentions with you.
Yeah.
She goes,
obviously.
She goes, what's your intentions? He goes, I'm not going to tell you yet.
What do you mean?
We're going to get stabilized. We're going to work on ourselves. But watch out, Scotty. I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
And that was like the last quote of the book.
Wow.
Then she goes, this is home. This is true love. This is living. Thank you, she whispers. He chuckles. For what? For fighting for me. Epilogue. 1 year later.
Okay.
It's their 1 year anniversary. He has taken her back to the lookout cabin.
Oh.
Isn't that cute?
Oh, return to the scene of the crime.
Weather's much better this
I hope so.
around. It's just beautiful. They've started another fire. He's like, oh, I got a surprise for you. Reaches in his bag. Battleship.
Of course.
Uh-huh. And just a couple weeks ago, she got to meet Jonathan's boyfriend.
Oh.
And he was a delight. Nick? No clue.
Sounds like it would be Jonathan's boyfriend's name.
And so like the next morning, he's like, Scotty, come watch the sunrise with me. And then reaches around. There's a diamond.
Obviously.
And he proposes to her.
Obviously.
And they live happily ever after. And that's the book.
That was a very cute book.
Isn't it good?
That was good.
Okay. Can I tell you something?
Yes.
The third book
Yeah.
is Xander,
Yeah.
whose dad died.
Yeah.
And his sister, Cal's sister, Teddy.
They start fucking.
Think about that for a second based off what I've told you in this book. Teddy, her husband, and her 2 kids. Throughout this book, there were little snippets, like when he was at the dive bar a couple times, he's like, why is Xander looking at my very married, very happily married sister? He's like, I don't like that. He never says anything to Xander, but he's like, I'm clocking.
Is the husband bad to her?
In book 3, I read the back of it because I was like, I have to know. And usually I don't do that.
Yeah.
Teddy is widowed with 2 kids and pregnant. And Xander comes in and helps her.
Whoa.
I know. Should we do
Spoiler
that?
alert.
Should we do that?
Spoiler alert. Later on.
Okay.
You know.
But I know I'll be crying in that one.
Yeah.
I can't handle the widowed thing.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so what did you think about the book?
It was good.
Yeah.
It was very good.
I mean, when he looks up the spit, when he looks like the cum and spits in her. I mean, the spice was the
spice.
Was good.
The spice was great, and then the story was good.
Did
that
you
was
like
a good
it?
time.
Nice.
I liked that. I mean, definitely saw where it was going.
Yeah.
That she was clearly from some religious something.
For sure.
But I guess I didn't see the gay thing right away.
Yeah.
But that's fun.
Yeah.
No, that was fun. And he's hot.
He's
and all that stuff he did was hot.
hot.
And I mean, I could see how he could turn into not hot if he didn't give up that controlling act. But in the moment, all those things he did would have really got me going.
Competency king.
Yeah.
Is real.
Seeing something that needs to get done and doing it and not making it my fucking problem.
Lord. Right.
Woo.
I don't want to have to solve every problem. So if you could solve it, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's acts of service love language?
I think, yeah.
I
think so.
I realize I do like that.
Yeah, I do too.
Identify a problem that you see I'm about to have and solve it for me.
Yes.
And I know that you love me.
Fuck yes.
Otherwise, you don't love me.
Yeah, otherwise.
And you never did.
Yep.
And you can't.
You hate me.
Yeah.
I'm an unlovable piece of shit.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, that was Fight by Sloan St. James. And would you, this is kind of funny, like to know the title of next week's book.
Yeah.
Is called War.
You mother.
Sorry.
Fucker.
I will tell you this. 2 totally different. It is. It's called War. I think that's a name. I don't think that's a spoiler. I think that's someone's name. In the book. I think they go by War. So although the title of the book is War.
Okay, I think that War is about, I'm going to say it's set in present day right now as we speak. And it's going to follow 28-year-old and a 26-year-old.
Okay.
William and Rebecca.
Ooh, I hate that.
That's okay. And they are going to be...
You've never given anyone names before.
I know, but that's because it's going to play in everything.
Oh, okay.
They're going to be alt heavy metal stars.
Oh.
Like they're a duo.
Okay.
And they've always been a duo.
Cool.
And they fucking like are metalheads.
All right.
And they're like fucking just the gnarliest. They have found a lot of success through their 20s. They started in high school. They've known each other since high school. And they have got to the point where they've hit the glass ceiling of like, we either be extremely popular metal fucking head band in the true metal fucking world.
Cool.
Or like we break mainstream somehow. Otherwise, like this is kind of the peak of our fame. Like we could probably work this circuit forever, but we're never going to be like performing at the Grammys or anything at this rate.
Yeah.
So there's like a ambitious, around their same age guy who is trying to manage them. And he's come to like one of their shows and he's a little more straight laced. And he's coming to find them and he's like, fucking, hey, like, I'm like new at this talent agency. I'm trying to prove myself and I'm looking for like talent. And I seriously think that you guys like are amazing and you're more than just metalheads. Like you could transcend, like you've got the sound.
Ooh,
people would be into this. Like we just like need to like get you there. At first they're like, fuck this guy. But he's like insistent and he keeps coming to shows, keep showing up.
Okay.
And eventually like he's shown up and he's always, trying to give his little spiel, but like they're always partying after the shows, it's fucking
railing lines.
It's rock and roll,
Ooh, nice.
So after like months of him chasing them and he's getting all this pressure from his like bosses to be like, you need to fucking sign some new talent. Like we need fresh fucking meat to get into. Like nothing is new anymore. Nothing like hits. Everything's one hit wonders. We got nothing. So he's feeling it. So then one night under the pressure, he just caves in and he's partying.
Nice.
So it's just
getting into it.
Yeah, it's montage.
They're egging him on. They're like,
oh yeah. They're like, oh, fucking straight laced guy, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, in his like drugged up, alcohol fueled stupor, it's like, who knows, at one point he like wanders into one of the like hotel rooms and William and Rebecca
going at
it. And it's always been a thing that they're not together. They're not fucking together. And like they would never do this because it's like you would fuck up the music, and it's always been a thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they've always said that. And he walks
They've
in.
always said that publicly?
Yeah. And he catches them.
And then what are they doing behind?
And they're going to town.
And it's not the first time?
No.
Okay.
Like clearly. And it's like Dom sub shit.
Woo!
It's fucking kinky metal
Love
shit,
that.
Fucking wild. And he sees it. And he's like, oh shit. And they see him and they're like, oh fuck. But then in that moment, they all lock eyes. Ooh, threesome. He's in the middle of it. He's making out with like the dude.
Right?
Oh, it's very bi. He's fucking the dude at one point. Like it is wild, crazy, destroy the hotel room,
Paul,
rock and roll, sex.
I love that.
Sex.
Yeah.
And so then, it's like the next morning and it's like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. And he just gets up, slips out of there. He's like gone. And he's just like, oh my God, like I'm never going back there. I cannot believe I did that. Like I'm never going to be a manager or whatever. He's like spiraling for like a day or two. And then
they reach out to
him. Finally, they use his card. It's like we see shots of them kind of being like, well, what are we going to do now?
Right.
Like we fuck this guy together. And they're like, let's just fucking call him.
Yeah, let's do it.
He'll be our manager.
Yep.
So then they bring him on. His name is Andrew.
That's cool.
We'll do Andrew.
Yeah, I like
Andy.
That. I don't know that I like Andy.
Whatever.
I like Andrew that goes by Drew.
Okay. Maybe he introduced himself as Drew, and later they find out his name is Andrew.
Yeah.
But so whatever. They call him back, and they are like, we're going to give you a shot. And like, let's do it. Let's do this.
But you're going to join us.
But so like, they're like, whatever, you're like, we're going to listen to you, like, whatever. You can never tell anyone that we're together. Like this can never be a thing.
Right.
And they like explain to him like, we don't do this because we are volatile. We are on and off.
Yeah.
Like we fight and we don't get along, but we put the music above all of that.
Love that.
We'll keep doing our music even if we're fighting. But he's like, we break up and fuck and break up and fuck all of the time and always have since high school. Wow. So he's like, okay, whatever. I respect that. But he's like, you need to be, if you're going to be our manager, you need to be aware of that.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
For
like
sure.
whatever. So then he is going to start giving them good ideas and getting them to start working with like other people. And it starts to like, they get their first kind of like, it's like first starts with like a tour where they're like opening for some more mainstream rock bands, but it's like they're not compromising their sound and they're gaining
a following.
Like it's hitting mainstream, but then this tour is just getting, you know, bigger and bigger and kind of crazier and crazier, and they do start fighting, and they're both like confiding in him, and they're all fucking together, but then sometimes having one-offs
separately.
And that's gonna just like get bigger and bigger, and like they are like really playing mind games with him and trying to figure him out. And like they find out that like he like went to school to be a drummer, and he is like an amazing drummer, but he like has always had like stage fright, and he was always planning to be like a studio musician, and because he could never actually play in front of people, he ended up into this management side and got into like music producing. It was like a choice of like, I'm never going to be a successful drummer, but I do have all of this music knowledge. And so he pivoted in college, and that's what he did. But so that when they find that shit out, they're like, are you a metalhead? He was like, no, like I did like jazz, like I did like very contemporary stuff. I did not do what you're talking about. And then one crazy fuck fueled night, they just sit him at the drums and they're like, play.
Yeah.
And so he starts doing like crazy drums while they're fucking playing, and then they're fucking and playing the instruments, because like one like he's trying to like keep beats while she's like jerking him off, you know. He's
his dick is in his mouth.
Yeah, you know, and he's playing and they're like fucking on their guitars and basses, and so it's just like they
I'm into that.
Love the sound that they make out of it. So then they force him basically to step out of management and join them on stage, and he's going to be their drummer now.
Wow.
And they rebrand their new band, and it's called War, W-A-R, which is the first letter of all of their names.
Oh my.
And they're like, we're here to wage war. And it's like, that's how they start their shows.
Shut up.
And then once he joins and his like fucking crazy drum beats, they have their first like radio hit. It's like everywhere.
Yeah.
And then they end up like at the Grammys, and it's like metal has hit the mainstream. Dang. And like it's all back, and everyone's like, oh, it's like reminding me of just like the days when metal first hit, and everybody like blah blah blah. And they have like this whole resurrection of it, and they bring it back, and it's like we haven't had like crazy like Korn type level metal shit in the mainstream in decades. But then obviously there's gonna just be classic band shit, jealousy. They're gonna both be wanting to fuck him, and it's like.
But then, do they realize that they can get something out of everyone, and they come together?
Yeah, like eventually, it's like all the jealousy, all the shit. It's like a lot of it. They realize is it's like the drinking, it's the drugs, it's like the lifestyle. Like they have to get clear-headed if they're gonna do this, and then eventually, you know, through lots of drama, lots of fucking, it's gonna be like. You guys never worked as just the two of you. You could never keep it together. Like no one kept you grounded, and like
he's the glue.
He is the glue, but he's like, I don't work with just one of you. Like we could never. We would be incomplete.
Right.
So then they then come out as we're fucking war, the thruple, and we fucking and they just like have all this stardom. And live happily ever after as rock metal legends.
Paul, I would read that book.
That's what I think war is about.
I gotta tell you something. I hate the subgenre and romance novels of rock stars. I've read two.
100%.
And I hated them both. But it is a huge subgenre. I would fucking read that.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I hope that's what it's about.
We shall find out.
We shall find out.
I do think it's going to be a very good book.
Great, as long as it's good either way.
But I do think yours might be a little bit better.
It could just go places.
Yeah, it really could.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's cool.
All right, well, I'll let you get home to your new book.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
Yeah.
All right, cool, well, thanks.
Okay. Bye.